Welcome back to a scenario where civilization starts over. In the last episode, we saw the first European war start, and there is many alliances and countries in this war. Almost every country's in this war, but a few, including these two, aren't. These two aren't. Neither is this guy, and neither is this guy. So that's 4 countries in the world that aren't in this war. Actually, no, 5. These guys aren't in the war. Anyways, let's get to it. And we have France making the first move of this video, pushing Iberia fully out, but they can't invade into their land as the areas are evenly matched, and it's probably going to stay like that for the rest of the war. For Naples, they are pushing back against France even more, and it's going very well for them. But not until France makes a spearhead, and they go through the Alps here, and they take the capital of Naples' puppet state, which causes almost a full retreat in this area on the coast, other than in here, which I think there's a major city. Now let's move up here to Sweden. They recapture all of their Danish lands and invade into Pink Norway, including invading them right here on their border, and they wipe them out completely. If I can draw it. Oh, that's way too similar. And for Norway, they're cooked. They had no chance. These two sign a ceasefire, however Finland will still be fighting Sweden. And Finland continues their little conquest here, and they go around the triangle here. Not like they're trying to focus on that, but they're trying to cut Sweden into 2. And once they finally do, they're gonna realize why that's a mistake. And the mistake was the fact that Russia knows Finland had no troops here, because all of their troops are in Sweden, so now they're getting invaded, and they're losing pretty badly. But this also causes a pushback from Caucasia, recapturing the capital of that country that used to be there. However, Bulgaria thickens their front here, but they don't care if they're getting invaded on all sides. Like, why would they care? They're Bulgaria, for God's sake. And they're doing very well against Russia, but that might come to an end soon. And now we're gonna see 3 countries leave the war because they can't afford it anymore, and those 3 countries are you. Also, the next country is going to be, let me see, these guys are leaving the war, and so is, I need to choose Ireland. They have no point of being this war, I guess. In being the war. And I'm gonna just get rid of all the shapes of all the countries that are gone, because too much shapes, you know. So there's no need for you to be there. You don't need to be there. Neither do you. Or you. And you too. Also that. And you, unfortunately. And we also have France invading Naples once more from their northern little area here, taking Venice. Because Russia is, cooking Finland right now, Sweden's going to push back almost fully. Actually, no, they do push back fully. And launch an invasion into Finland through their southern area, and Russia's going to sign a ceasefire with, not a ceasefire, well, it's like a cease attack or something. They have swords. Russia is going to take all of the land that they want and leave Sweden to cook Finland for the rest. Now let's look here at Egypt. The Sudanese rebellion is going to continue its invasion of Egypt, and it goes so well, the fact that they regain a lot of land that Sudan had and plus more. Now Egypt is getting invaded by Carthage again, and this time they can't stop it. They're losing on all fronts here, so there's no point. Mesopotamia, which is a new nation, is somehow very strong, and they cut off Egypt from this land here, which will probably just go over to Yemen. But the Mesopotamians are not slowing down whatsoever on Egypt, and Yemen takes the rest here. However, Qatar pushes back against Mesopotamia. We have Turkey trying to re-liberate the blue team, and it goes fairly successful over here, and that's mainly because it does, so yeah. But they're launching like all of their population at this just to save an ally that might not even exist in the next few years. So I don't know why they're doing this, but it goes very well, but they can't invade into the core regions of the country. We have the invasion of Bulgaria continuing, and it does not look good for Bulgaria here. Poland is actually very much disrupting their lines right now, and it's not good. Naples is starting to invade into Bulgaria even more, and that means, well, they're gonna have to pull all of their troops out of Russia, or almost all. They leave a little bulge area there, though. Obviously, they're going to be able to push back a good amount with these troops, but probably still won't be enough to pull out or push back fully, as your country is kind of collapsing Bulgaria. And to make it even worse, you lose your capital city. But Caucasia uses literally all of their troops once again to re-invade into Crimea and take back their ally, and it works. Then they push back Russia almost fully before launching an invasion into Russia, which was very successful for the Caucasians. And Russia knows that Crimea is probably not gonna fall again, so they're just gonna sign a ceasefire, and Crimea is going to invade into Bulgaria with help from Caucasia, and Bulgaria is fully pushed back, and they're also going to get invaded by Russia. So yeah, Bulgaria, I think you should just surrender. Over here in Finland, it's over. They lose their capital, and okay, Finland will surrender to Sweden. Naples is able to actually win the siege over here, and that gives them room to capture most of their puppet state once more. But they can't really capture this area of the Alps, but they fully push back France over here. And then they start their invasion into France, which is their first one, I guess, but it goes very successful as they are able to invade France with no problem. But we have France re-invading into Iberia after some lines have been not choked, what? So Iberia is gonna pull some troops out of here, and that's okay, as they would rather protect their mainland, in which they are pretty successful. Well, they are successful. But then we have France doing something to Sweden. They invade into Denmark, which is not good. But France should probably focus on themselves. They have a lot of fronts. And Iberia will reinvade into the land that they lost here just because they can, and it goes a lot more successful this time. But France does push back Naples right here a little bit. Now let's move to Egypt. Egypt is losing very, very fast here, and Sudan, they're doing very, very well. We have Carthage taking all of this land here, and if we turn on the river layer, the Nile is basically Sudanese. It's probably going to be Carthaginian soon, maybe, but Carthage is the one who's mainly doing the damage here. And the Mesopotamians will claim some more lands along the Nile. They split the Nile, I guess. They take the rest of this land here and split the Nile. And what I mean by splitting the Nile is the fact that Egypt loses their capital and the Nile is now just split into two. Egypt, you're cooked. You're cooked. Just give up, bro. So that's gonna give way for some of these countries to just leave the war, in which they do. Mesopotamia will stay though. We have the French fully pushing back Naples and invading into their puppet state, but it's a lot more successful this time. Naples knows that they're kind of cooked here because they're running out of manpower fast, so they try to take back some land, and it does go fairly successful. So they're gonna meet up with France. So does Croatia. They don't want to be in this war with them because there's been a lot of casualties over here. So the agreement is What? Well, the agreement is met, and France will leave the war. So will Wales. And that leaves Bulgaria in alliance by themselves, and you can't be in an alliance by yourself, because then it wouldn't even be an alliance. And then here comes the collapse of Bulgaria. Macedonian troops are the quickest to arrive to the scene, and they take the rest of the remaining coastline from Bulgaria. Naples sends some troops into Bulgaria. They take a good amount of Bulgaria, but they don't want too much. Croatia will take a big portion. They're gonna take all of that. Poland will try to take some land, in which they do, but it's not too much. And then we have Russia taking all of this, and Crimea taking a little bit more before the rest will fall over to Croatia. And over here, Caucasia is fully pushed back by Russia, so it's no fighting, but Caucasia does retake that. And that just leaves a few nations left in this war. The blue team, I guess, but just an update on that. Yeah, Turkey kind of had to stop so they could help their allies in Bulgaria. Big threat over here. And I think that's everyone who's dead. I mean, Russia left the war now. So, yeah, everyone has basically left the war by now. So, we can just erase these symbols because everyone has genuinely just left the war. So, yeah, there's only one alliance in the world, but obviously the Triangle Alliance will be. And the Triangle Alliance and Star Alliance and the Square Alliance will be coming back, but not the Diamond Alliance. Anyways, let's look at a peace treaty. This is gonna take me forever. Also, forgot to mention, Sweden got this back from France. I think I have everything. This is the peace treaty. We're gonna start here up north, where Sweden will be fully annexing Pink Norway and these parts of Finland, while annexing these parts of just normal Norway. So, Norway, you still exist, but barely. And for you, you take this. Russia takes all of this from Finland, which is probably, very bad for them. They're barely even a country. You know what? We don't want Finland here, so they're just gonna unite with those guys. Now, for Estonia, Poland fully annexes them. And Poland will also annex this and this, but they do give this piece of land to Albania in this world. And for you, you annex that. For France, they're going to annex all of this and that right there. And they're also going to annex this. They're probably the second biggest country at this point. Maybe. However, Naples will annex their puppet state for some reason. I think it looks better. Anyways, they're going to annex that too. Croatia is going to annex all of this, plus that. That makes them, triple in size. Russia will be annexing this. Crimea will be annexing this. Iberia will be taking this from northern Iberia, making them basically just Iberia. Well, they are Iberia. But Wales will take that. Carthage will take this from Egypt. And welcome back, Sudan. You're now at your peak. Egypt lost the most land to probably Mesopotamia, but you're going to see that in a second. And for Yemen, they're going to annex these islands and all of this land here. Qatar will take this. And for my good pal, old buddy, Mesopotamia, they're going to take this. That's a lot of land. So they're going to take that. And I lied, Persia's going to take that. Caucasia takes that, and Turkey will take the rest. That's basically the peace treaty, but one thing. And that's what to do over here. Macedonia will annex these areas from Turkey. They don't really care. They got their land back. And Macedonia will also annex all of that. And for the blue team, they're almost getting fully annexed. And I say almost because they're gonna be living on these islands right here. So the blue team exists, but at what cost? They're cooked. So there's no point in even trying to come back. You know what, I'll give you some more islands. You can have you can be the Greek island empire at this point, I guess. I don't know. Turkey is forced to give some islands to them. These guys are basically just a puppet of Macedonia now, and Macedonia has 4 capitals. That's how much they invaded. Now I need to erase all these capitals. Sorry for the short video, I just wanted to get this over with. And obviously Sudan's gonna move their capital back to their old one. But for capitals, bye. Do you even have a major city? No, you have 2 major cities, so your capital will be right there. For Poland, right there. Finland, there. Is there anything else? Oh, Bulgaria kinda is cooked. They don't really have a good capital spot, but it's fine. And you need to be erased. You need to be moved, and I'm not even gonna put a major city. Your capital is right there, though. No need for you. What is that not on the capital? Is that on the major cities layer? No, is that just on the background layer? It's on the background layer. Oh my god. Boom. What else? There's something I'm missing for sure. Is there? I don't. Oh yeah. And then yeah, there might be something else. I don't care though. But yeah, this is our new map. Changed a lot, and I'm just gonna update the alliances so you know who's in them. So now I have to put the alliances. Square alliance. That's wrong color. Still. I'm gonna make this square bigger, cause you know France is big. Wales, you're still in. And Norway is still in for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. Ireland, obviously still in. They left. I think they weren't even in the war, but yeah. And then who else is in the Square Alliance? Qatar, but they're not gonna be in it. Now for the Triangle Alliance, it still exists, and it's probably thriving now. Maybe not thriving, but it's doing good, possibly. So, you know, you're still in it, obviously. And then, you're still in it. And then who else was in the? Who else? Oh yeah, Sweden's going to stay. They want to be in it. So will Poland. And this one country. Also, Bulgaria is not rejoining the alliance. And also Croatia. I forgot. How do I forget Croatia? They were like a major player in the war. Now it's time for the Star Alliance. So, Mesopotamia, Yemen, Sudan stayed. And then we also have Turkey, obviously, Caucasia, Iran, well, technically Persia, but doesn't matter. And obviously we have Crimea, but I need to remove it so I can put the right shape. So, put the right size, I mean. And then you, my friend, you're still in it, but I'm gonna have to make this extra small just for you. So, yeah, sorry about that, blue team. I think we should look at power rankings. They have obviously changed a lot in this war. Number 1, I would give it to probably France. Maybe not France, cause I'm gonna still say Macedonia. I think they're the strongest still. Number 2, I would put actually, yeah, France. They did very well in this war. They didn't lose too much. Yeah, number 3 though, not Naples. They kind of lost a lot. So number 3 would be let me think. Not Turkey. they'd get destroyed. I think Turkey would be number 5, so I'm gonna put Turkey there. And then for number 4, I don't know. I'm just gonna put Mesopotamia number 6. 'Cause that makes sense in my head. Oh yeah, probably Russia. No, I think Iberia number 4, and then Russia, and then Naples, and then after Naples is probably Sweden. So I'm gonna put Sweden, and after Sweden, probably Poland, and then Croatia. I'd say, no, Carthage. So Poland, and actually, we're gonna remove. Wait. I think I'm just gonna make this 11. Actually, number. I'm gonna do 12. So 9, I'm going to say Carthage. And then 10, I'm just gonna put Poland. 11 would be Croatia. And then 12. Oh no, Wales. Wales is number. Yeah, I'm gonna put Wales number 12. So those are your rankings. I know I have bad handwriting, but just deal with it, please. Anyways, that's the power rankings. And that should do it for this video. But I'm gonna have to move Sudan's capital, like I said. So can't forget Sudan's capital. But still, this is like, what are the original capital right there. And no new countries were made out of this war. Only countries died. And like I said, that'll do it for this video. Have a good day or something. I don't know. Blah blah blah. Make sure to like and subscribe. And anyways, see you next time, tomorrow or something.